know if everyone is familiar with a fitness influencer named Liver King. He has a large following on Instagram, very buff dude. And he was one of those fitness influencers where he was eating like raw meat. And I guess he created these supplements that he was selling to people. And anyway, his message was this is how he got the physique that he got by eating that way, eating raw meat and, working out to the extent that he works out. Now, even back at that point, people were saying, more fitness influencers were saying, there's no way this guy is not on steroids. Like they were calling it out, right? Like the dude is jacked. And it's one of those things like you don't get that way naturally, right? But he denied it multiple times. And then eventually there was a leak that showed that, yes, he was on steroids and he was purchasing steroids. Now, I bring this up because one of the podcasters who called this out early on was Joe Rogan. About 2 years ago, Joe Rogan was talking about Liver King with another guest. And Joe Rogan said, that's not natural. There's no way that guy is that way without using enhancements, right? That was a couple years ago. I don't know that Joe Rogan said anything about him recently. And this is important because apparently Liver King was arrested because he threatened Joe Rogan. Like, arrived in Austin, Texas and everything. Was apparently threatening Joe Rogan. And this is wild. I can't make this up. Get to it. Liver King influencer arrested in Texas after threatening Joe Rogan. His name is Brian Johnson, known online as the Liver King, posted a series of threatening videos on Instagram in the days before his arrest in Austin, Texas. This is crazy, guys. It's like you never know what people are doing. So it goes on to say, Austin police said in a statement that they arrested Brian Johnson after they learned that he was traveling to Austin, Texas, and that's where Joe Rogan lives, and threatening Joe Rogan in a series of videos he posted on Instagram. I'll get into one of the videos here, but one of them he said, Joe Rogan, I'm calling you out. My name is Liver King, man to man. I'm picking a fight with you. I have no training in jiu-jitsu. You're a black belt. You should dismantle me. But I'm picking a fight with you. Your rules, I'll come to you whenever you're ready. In another video he posted that day, he similarly challenged Rogan to fight man to man. You never come across something like this. Willing to die, hoping that you'll choke me out because that's a dream come true. Police said that they contacted Rogan on Tuesday and that he told them he had never previously interacted with Johnson and considered the post to be threatening. Later that day, Johnson was apprehended at Four Seasons Hotel and charged with a terroristic threat, a Class B misdemeanor. So this is Liver King here over to the right. And obviously, I think everybody knows who Joe Rogan is, so we need to point him out. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to show you one of the videos. There is something wrong with Liver King, dude. This is someone who needs some serious help. And I think you'll see that when we bring up one of the videos here. So let's share this one. It says, Liver King was arrested in Austin, Texas yesterday after threatening to fight Joe Rogan. Like, guys, tell me this guy don't need help. Watch this.
Anything and everything. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore. All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man to a fight. Honorable. And we don't have to pretend or make any videos. The world is watching. They'll make the videos for us. And you don't have to hold a camera. You can hold the hand of somebody that you love, because what happens next to you, you're going to need to remember that feeling. You're going to need something more than what you did to give you something to fight for, because I have my family to fight for. And then I'll die for them, you know that. And you're a black belt, but you've never come across something like this. willing to die, hoping that you'll choke me out. I pray to God because that's a dream come true. It feels good. And then the limbs, I'm fighting for my family. So limb.
Let me pause here for a second. Guys, dude looks super old. Like, and he's not that old, right? Like, so I saw there's Liver King documentary on Netflix right now. It's one of the Untold documentaries. You guys know that Untold series on Netflix. So there's one about Liver King on Netflix right now. He looks significantly older than he should. Dude is not doing well. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but you can look at his face and you can tell he didn't look like this. For those of you who saw the documentary, he doesn't look like that in the docuseries. Something is off here. He does not look well at all. And he looks significantly old. Oof.
Go ahead. But then you have to contend with something else. And I weigh 177 pounds. An actual savage. And so at first you're like, fuck that guy. And right? When you all of a sudden he did get your attention, which I already did before this, you're saying, I'm going to choke that motherfucker, that piece of fucking shit. I'm going to choke him out. That's what warriors do. You and Andrew Tate are good warriors. But you're actually better than that real tension we have. Comedy that you do is good and true. We have real tension. But what I see in you is comedy is good and true. Touch points. Oh, people laugh. If we don't make fun of them at their expense, they laugh. You should all make fun of me. You should all make fun of me at my expense. Trust me, that it still works. And
I don't know. Dude does not look good. Red Six said beard looks musty. Yeah, it's something. I don't know. Something is off here again. Like, and I'm familiar with Liver King, but he does not look like he's been doing well. And who knows? It could have been the feedback after he did admit that he was taking steroids. Right? Maybe it was that, like the blowback that he received from the public after that. I don't know. All I know is that dude does not look well. He looked like he aged overnight.
And then you should get paid for it. And let's go. Because we're leaving. We're going to Austin. What was my very last point?
That we're gonna kick Joe Rogan's ass.
The real G said it. It's my speech. Justin Fitz.
Yeah, so that's where he said that was the video where he said they were on their way to Austin and they were gonna kick Joe Rogan's ass. And like I said, it's weird because those comments from Joe Rogan, those were made like 2 years ago. That's why I didn't understand what was happening here. But here's him being arrested.
Those families coming over.
The vehicle?
Yeah.
And these items for you?
I wouldn't take that with That's for me.
Yeah, and he has responded since he has been released. I do want you guys to hear what he says here. He's not backing down with Joe Rogan. Like he's really mad at Joe Rogan.
That gives them a lot of vulnerabilities because they knew everything they were doing wasn't right. We're getting this family man, 0 record, not even a fucking parking ticket, never been arrested, except in Poland, that was real. But never actually here, 0 record. And then my wife is here, my boys are here, my actual sons are with me, everyone's with me, and they kind of knew. And since everyone knew what they were doing was incongruent with the truth, they did a lot of things wrong, which then left our city extremely vulnerable from a legality standpoint. And I'm going to say this right now, I would never sue my city or my state, ever. But Joe Rogan put them at risk by calling in a favor. They did many things wrong. They never even said you're arrested. They just arrested. They just detained me. And it's okay with the rights. But when they read your rights right before the end, they say, you have the right to terminate this interview at any time. All the others are self-explanatory. And so I said, do you have any questions? And I said, I do. I didn't really come here. I'm not looking for an interview. I don't need information about you. I'd like to go back to my family. I got something else I'd like to do. Seems like you want an interview. The last, if you have utility to share with me, you should do it right now. But the last one was, I have the right to terminate this interview at any time. What happens if I do that? What happens if I do that? He says, then you go straight to jail. And I said, okay, then this interview is terminated. You should put me straight in jail. And so that ends up happening, and that's the gift that I got, is like novelty and new experience. I was in an actual real prison, a real prison in Poland, a USSR type underground, everything concrete, metal, and real men, Polish. The hell's in, and then I went to like this one, you know. Yeah, this is in.
Yeah, I don't think this guy is well. Like I really don't. Very weird. Very weird. But the police contacted Joe Rogan. I guess somebody sent these videos to the police, contacted Joe Rogan and said, hey, this guy said he's on his way to Austin, Texas to try to rough you up or whatever, that type of thing. And according to this, it says Liver King says he will never stop after arrest over alleged threat against Joe Rogan. Like, this is, I don't get this at all. I don't know if he's just trying to get attention or what. But let me tell you guys something. People have been known to be crazy out there. Let me tell you, I just saw a story and I didn't know if I wanted to cover it or not because I wasn't familiar with the show. But there was a YouTuber that unalived herself because, according to her husband, she couldn't take what people were saying to her in the comments. Or something like that. I guess it really got to her. This YouTuber, they had over like 1 or maybe 2 million subscribers. It was a big channel. I had never heard of it. But she did animal like rescue type services. And I was like, yo, like it's real out here in these YouTube streets. It's real out here, just in social media and period. But like, you got to be careful because you never know. Like some people a little crazy. Some people are a little crazy. Claire said that happens a lot. Yeah, you never know. You gotta be careful, like who you interact with and stuff like that. Because I don't know, man. People can kind of get there. But yeah, apparently he doesn't want to let this go. He doesn't want to give this up. So I don't know. They said that he was wearing an ankle monitor and had a mental health evaluation within 1 week of arrest. So let me say something to you guys about the social media fame. This dude had millions of followers. I think some unfollowed him, but I think a lot of them still do. And he became pretty popular pretty quickly. And as soon as people build you up, they'll take you down, or they'll laugh at your demise. And then it almost kind of seems like then you or him as that creator is trying to find another way to have relevancy because you lied and said you weren't using steroids and you were using them, which is how you got that physique, which is important for people to know. And people turned on you after that. So now it just kind of seemed like you end up doing stuff just for attention, just because. To still have that. That's kind of what it feels like. Very scary though. Very scary. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.